Hi everyone, I'm back for some more. There was some positive response to the first video. Hopefully it helps somebody. There wasn't too many questions, so I'm just gonna kind of run with it again. Previous video was basically shot around about the second, the part I was speaking anyway. The clips where they were packing up our things was around the 3rd of September. It was on this day as well where the stuff that's getting shipped was taken away and the last stuff was sold. The next day, the 4th, my wife and child left for Johannesburg. I was originally gonna fly on the 4th as well, but I realized we still had quite a bit to do and decided to delay my flight till the 5th of September. The Friday was quite hectic. Yeah, I had a couple of things to still do. It was also the day my wife's car was due to be collected 3 p.m. So I didn't have a lot of time of car usage and also had to take them to the airport. For those wondering, for local flights at the moment, yes, we are allowed to fly, etc., without having essential reasons to fly. However, you still need to fill in a form from the Department of Health or the Ports Authority, I'm not sure. SAFAir has those forms on their website, so you can just download it, fill it in, and take it with you to the airport. It will save you some time. You're still not allowed to enter the airport with your family, etc., so you basically just drop them off. There's a Ports Authority officer at the entrance of the airport that checks your passport and your letter of health, basically, when you say which flight you're on, and it's like a screening test, basically, just asking you if you have any symptoms. Get into the airport, and then it's the same rigmarole as usual. Even the kids have to wear a mask on the local flights, which I found a bit silly. Apparently my kid didn't on her flight, and they didn't make too much fuss, but my flight the next day, I heard them actually asking children of the age of 3 must still try and keep the mask on, which any parent would know is a tough task. So I threw my PC in the car as well. I have my PC courier to Vancouver via DHL. That took almost like 45 minutes of my time. I had to rush back because there was a team busy putting in aluminium windows in our bathrooms. We've got tenants moving in at the end of September, so that had to be sorted before the guys from We Buy Cars arrived to pick up my wife's car. Actually a very convenient way to sell a car, and we got a reasonable price for our cars. Obviously out of hand you can probably do a bit better, but you sit with all the risk and admin, etc., on your side, whereas if they handle that for you, it's easy going. I had till about 6:30 before the rental agent arrived to collect the keys and have a bit of a show around. So yeah, I had to rush a bit. Some of my colleagues that bought some of my stuff also came to collect. Close colleague of mine, Fatima, thank you, she came to collect, but also stayed on her own accord to help me, which was invaluable at the end of the day because there was still so much junk lying around and things to do. The rest of the day was basically just boxing things and sorting things, till I realized, well, it was like an hour before I need to be out of my house, so I made sure I had everything I need to take on my flight the next day. So I haven't finished packing. I'm a last minute type of person with things like that. In the process of moving, the reality doesn't really set in until a bit later, while you're packing up your house and whatnot, that you won't be returning to it. And especially once a kid was a bit naughty, you know how kids are after they get a bit of a scolding. They can be a bit shy and want to go back to a comfort zone. And and then she told me, Papa, ek wil huis toe gaan. And that's a difficult thing, trying to tell your kid that obviously you can't go back to your house anymore. So yeah, the reality is starting to kick in. And that evening I went to a friend's house, collect me, Dankie Jaco. He offered to take me to the airport. My flight the next morning was a red-eye flight. I think takeoff was at 7, so I had a nice little braai, went to bed just past 12, which isn't late, I know, but if you need to get up 4:45 the next morning, it is kind of late. Then we headed off to the airport, went through the rigmarole with the health declaration form, and then through the gates. So the flight was on time, leaving Cape Town with rainy weather. I arrived in Cape Town at the end of January 2008. Yeah, it was a scorching day when I arrived in Cape Town. January, February, it gets hot. You're talking between 30-38 degrees. And yeah, we went through Worcester and those places. That stage I was still driving a Toyota Tazz, only manual climate control, aka opening up your windows, which doesn't help when it's almost 40 degrees outside. So yeah, it was quite contrasting leaving Cape Town with basically 2 bags and a backpack and my camera. My father-in-law picked me up from Lanseria airport. Being out of Cape Town, away from our house and the drama, you just kind of feel a bit more relaxed, because now what's left is left. Our flight on Emirates is due to leave the 15th of September, a repatriation flight, which comes with its own nice little twerks, such as having to go for a COVID screen. What is that, 96 hours beforehand? Yeah, we did ours today, which is Saturday, September 11th. Nice. That's the day we would have flown with British Airways, but those flights got cancelled. We went for the COVID test. Lovely experience. I'm lying, it's not lovely. Nobody ever said that. Your nose gets violated quite badly. So that's done. Hoping for a positive or negative result, depending on how you look at it. There's also a health declaration form you have to fill in with Emirates. Our flight is only about 6 p.m, but we all need to gather at the Hilton in Sandton at 11 a.m. Tuesday's going to be a bit of a long day. I believe they check your bags there and they sniff the dogs, and then you get on the bus to Owatambo from there, and that's why you have to gather so early. Something that's exciting, Tuesday is the 15th and my birthday is the 16th of September. So what will be happening is, somewhere during our flight to Dubai, it's going to be my birthday. So I'm going to be most likely missing my birthday in the southern hemisphere. Then it continues through to Dubai, and we'll get on a plane to Toronto, also still my birthday. Fly over places like Turkey, Poland, Denmark, Greenland, Iceland. Might be mistaken some of those countries, and then into Canada. So it's going to be a very long birthday. Hopefully my child behaves on the flight, and then it will be a very nice birthday as well. And hopefully Emirates can be very nice and give me a shower on that A380. That would be fantastic. Yeah, that would be nice. Probably not going to happen, but it would be nice. My folks, I'm not going to say they're gypsies, but they kind of are. They're retired and they like camping a lot. They follow in chasing the sun, so they kind of chase to the warmer spots through the year. So they basically left Natal and moved towards the Kruger Park and the north of South Africa. It's also convenient because they can leave the caravan there and travel down to Johannesburg to see us, which at this point, as I'm making this, has already happened, which is nice because my sister stays in Kempton Park, and then my child could also spend some time with her cousins, which they enjoyed quite a bit, and it was nice spending some prolonged time with them. We don't see each other as often as we would like. It becomes more and more difficult when you've got two families living all over South Africa to see everybody. Now I'm also seeing my wife's family. We got to see her grandma again. It's the last grandparent standing. So yeah, that was very nice and special. Got a nice little photo with 4 generations of the ladies. Just 3 more nights sleep and we getting on that plane and leaving South Africa. So it's all getting very real very fast now. Yeah, looking forward to it. I know one of the things that people mention is the Emirates flights, or a lot of these international flights at the moment, are limiting your hand luggage. You can take clothes for infant or child, and then you can take like a laptop bag and a briefcase, but you're actually not allowed hand luggage, which is strange. Doesn't really make sense in my opinion. Those are the rules. Although we've read a bit, and people that have left South Africa on those repatriation flights did say, although Emirates said no hand luggage, when it came to it, they allowed it. So I'm not sure. We threw in some backpacks. It's going to be interesting. I'd like to update on that in the next video, how that went, what the rules were actually, etc. What food we got on the plane? It doesn't sound like you're getting hot food on these planes anymore. It's pretty daunting. It's not your normal travel. Some of the documents you need to get into Canada, obviously non-essential travel is not allowed, so you need proof that you should be there. We've got our work permits. I've got a letter saying I'm essential staff. My child obviously doesn't work, so she's got a visitor's visa, but she's also got a letter, like I said, a letter that says she's allowed to travel with us. You also need to kind of give them a detailed plan on your quarantine plans, because when you arrive in Canada, you have to self-isolate or quarantine for 14 days. You know, kind of show them a plan, show what time you land in, what plane you're landing on, etc. Where you intend on staying for those 14 days, who's gonna provide you with food and things you might need, medication, etc. Contact details such as email, Canadian number if you've got one, or your South African number. I've arranged with a colleague on that side to get me a prepaid SIM card for work, and the other stuff is just the stuff you would have needed to have on you in any other year. Because with a work permit, your visa says worker, however the actual work permit only gets issued at the airport or at customs when you enter Canada. So you have to convince that border official that you should be allowed access and should be allowed a work permit. So it's important to keep all your documentation at hand on you all the time. In Joburg has been fun, it's just been relaxing. The weather's been great, which is nice because it's probably going to be a bit cooler when we arrived in Vancouver. It's 1 or 2 days where the winter's a bit chilly, but it was actually warm enough that we had a swim the other day. You don't want to take too many risks now, because if you develop symptoms, even if it's just a cold or a flu, pretty screwed. You're not going to get onto your flight. Admin things we had to sort out. Some tips perhaps: if you've got a property that you'll be putting it out for rent, I would recommend, if you have your debit orders on the 1st of each month and the tenant also plans on paying basically the last day of each month or first day, push back your debit date to like the 5th. With your internet banking, try and make your notifications emails, so you don't need to depend on your South African cell number abroad. International driver's license. It's fairly simple to get. So we went to, I think it's Cresta Mall. Yeah, there's an AS center like close to the Woolies. The cost was around about 300 Rand per person. I saw it gave myself 3 years to drive on my license. An hour or two ago I got my COVID test results back, or my wife as well, and we are negative. So that's a positive result, if you understand what I'm saying. And if I'm looking tired on this video as well, it's because I am 7 minutes before midnight. And yeah, my kid had a very long afternoon nap, and yeah, this is the consequence of that. So the next video will probably be on our trip, leaving Joburg, the whole trip through to Vancouver. I can tell you a bit all the problems we faced, hopefully not too many. Once again, hopefully it helps somebody. If there's any more specific things somebody would like to know, please ask. Drop it in the comment section down there somewhere, and yeah, I would gladly answer if I can. And maybe there's somebody else watching the video, reading the comments, that has gone through the same thing and they could perhaps answer. If you enjoy this, if it's insightful in any way, yeah, give it a like, little thumbs up. And if you want notifications on the next video dropping, then you can click the bell down there as well. But first you'll need to subscribe, I think. Looking forward to speaking to you again from Canada. Cheers.